You know, I met Epstein a few times as well, and I think
How'd you get introduced?
it was Reid Hoffman in Silicon Valley introduced us in 2014.
So here we have an email from 2016 from Peter Thiel. So Peter Thiel said he supposedly met Epstein in 2014. So if I'm going to email anybody, that means I have your personal information. That means I have your phone number. That means I have your phone number. That means I have been in contact with you after finding out that you was a pedophile. So here we be watching a video on every Joe Rogan guest that has been on the Epstein files, and it's looking kind of weary, you know, looking kind of like, Joe Rogan, what you got going on? But a lot of people, like in this beginning clip, is going to warn Joe Rogan that, you know, people going to come out of the dark and try to infiltrate your podcast. But let's just see if Joe Rogan took that little warning and, you know, let's see what's going on.
Here's a deeper point, man. I don't mean to do this every time I'm on, but you have such a crazy power that if you're not careful, folks from deep, dark wells of perspective are going to infiltrate your shit because people are going to like try to exploit you. That's the main thing, is like people recognizing what you are, who have political agendas, will infiltrate your shit and then start blowing out their radioactivity into the world, right? That's a fear.
Like radium, like...
All right, so now that people have had a few days to digest the millions of emails and documents linked to Jeffrey Epstein, it's now starting to appear that Joe Rogan's had a lot of people on his show that are now confirmed to have been closely linked to the predator and criminal himself, which has definitely left a lot of people scratching their heads. I mean, it's one thing to have maybe one or two guys linked to Epstein on his show, but when you realize that Joe Rogan's platformed more than 9 different people and counting at this point, who were named in the files sometimes thousands of different times, it all certainly raises more than a few questions. And it's not like anyone's accusing Joe Rogan of secretly going to Epstein's island or anything, but the very fact that he's had so many of these weirdos on his podcast just proves how accurate Duncan Trussell was in the opening clip there. Like, all of these creepy billionaires flock to Joe's podcast because they feel a sense of safety and protection with Joe. Not only because he never challenges these guys on anything or even questions their links to Epstein, but also because he's so easily manipulated and will believe just about anything you say to him, especially if you have power over him. Peter Thiel, for example, who's a billionaire tech investor and co-founder of Palantir and PayPal, admitted to Joe Rogan that he met Jeffrey Epstein back in 2014, about 8 years after Epstein was initially arrested for all of the despicable and nasty stuff that he did to children.
You know, I met Epstein a few times as well, and I think...
How'd you get introduced?
It was Reid Hoffman in Silicon Valley introduced us in 2014, but it was basically
when you were introduced to him, how was he described to you?
He was described as one of the smartest tax people in the world.
Interesting.
And I probably was my moral weakness that I.
Well, how could you have known back then? He had never been arrested.
No, this was 2014. It was post arrest.
Oh, so his arrest was the first arrest, right?
Yeah,
which was like
2007, 08.
Okay.
Upon learning this, though...
Okay, but this is the crazy part about the whole exact thing, right? So, like, let's see what Peter Thiel emails was about, because there's a difference between meeting somebody and continuing to email them. So let's just see, because a lot of this stuff just sounds crazy, and I can smell a lie. Like I can just smell a lie. But let's see. I just want to go to one of those emails, and I just want to see from him meeting Jeffrey Epstein in 2014 to if he have an email between, like, let's just say 2014 and Jeffrey died in 2019. Let's just see what email, because I know he's in the email, but let's just look at one of those emails right quick. So here we have an email from 2016 from Peter Thiel. So Peter Thiel said he supposedly met Epstein in 2014. So if I'm going to email anybody, that means I have your personal information. That means I have your phone number. That means I have your phone number. That means I have been in contact with you after finding out that you was a pedophile. You have been a convicted pedophile in 2008. Honestly, it's just like this. If I'm famous and I know that my image would be messed up because I'm hanging, I'm emailing, I'm talking to a pedophile and stuff like that, and my personal image is at stake, I'm not going to be anywhere around you. But with Peter Thiel, guess what? If I have your email, I have your phone number. And since I have your email and your phone number, guess what? Okay, like this. Okay, back up. If he emailed him in 2014, okay, yeah, this email was 2014, okay, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna blame you. You might got introduced to him, didn't know he was a pedophile and all that stuff, and 2014 email, I ain't gonna blame you because it's all within the same year, and you could have found out 3 months later. But 2 years later, what? 2 years later, what are we doing here? These people are famous. These people hold powerful positions. Peter Thiel, I don't like how he even grew up because he don't even acknowledge apartheid in Africa. I don't fuck with that anyway. I don't like when people they have the privileged mind like that to accept that other people are not as privileged as you, but that's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? Just go look at one of these documentaries about Peter Thiel, and you'll just see how of a disgusting human being he is, talking bad about women. And he was just like one of those very first, before the red pill was a red pill, that was Peter Thiel. You know what I'm saying? Like talking very, very bad about women, stuff like that, and apartheid and all that type of stuff. So I just don't agree with that type of stuff with Peter Thiel. But he's just walking ill to me. He can be a great guy personally if you meet him and all that stuff. And a lot of people are great guys. I'm pretty sure that Jeffrey Epstein was a great fucking guy. I'm pretty sure he was. Because there's no way that you can be a guy that's an asshole or disrespectful and all that type of stuff and have these type of connections to people. It's no way. You have to be at least respectful to somebody and be willing to, I don't know, like you have to have some type of communication and at least a genuine person, or I ain't gonna say genuine, but at least a good person, at least to have connections to everybody. And then a lot of people are like that. That's how a lot of women get trafficked. They fall into like some playboy method, like not playboy, but the boyfriend method, where a guy plays your boyfriend, he flies you over, and now you sex traffic for the rest of your fucking life until you can find a way to get out of there. Stuff like that happen all the time. These people got demons in their closets.
And why so many elites just love going on Joe's podcast, because Joe's best friends with whoever's across the table with him that day, and he was probably so starstruck by Thiel and his connections that he never even thought to second guess the guy on his relationships with Jeffrey Epstein. Now that the files are out though, it seems pretty clear that Thiel was a lot closer to Epstein than he led Joe on to believe. There's a bunch of back and forth emails between them about having dinners together in various places.
See here, 2014, like I said, I won't blame you. I'm not going to blame you for that. You still know that he was maybe somebody didn't tell you that he was a pedophile, because a lot of people don't really tell the demons that's inside their closet. Like, oh man, yeah man, I'm a convicted pedophile. No, I'm pretty sure it did not go like that. But you meet him. So I'm seeing this 2 emails in April. So if it's 2 emails in April, he probably met him around the beginning of the year, probably like June, like at least January or around that way. And he been knowing him. And and I don't know, if you're famous, like it's anybody, like if I meet somebody and I know somebody that knows somebody, if I knew Jeffrey Epstein personally and I had a friend that knew Jeffrey Epstein that put me on to him, I'm gonna ask about, like, who is this guy? Who is that guy? Who, you know what I'm saying? Because I got to know who I'm associating myself around. It's the same way, like, if you got kids, like a babysitter, somebody recommend a babysitter to you. You want to know a lot about this person. And especially if I'm going over to somebody's house, if I decide to go over your house, I need to know up front that this person was a pedophile. I need to know that. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't know. I don't think you can really play the naive game for so long.
There's even one where Thiel suggests meeting him on a quote-unquote island, which could very well be the island, if you know what I mean. There's of course nothing immediately acknowledging the crimes or anything, but I would venture to say that doing business with a convicted sex criminal for personal enrichment generally means you're a bad guy, not to mention being in regular communication with them. But of course, Rogan doesn't bother looking even an inch further into any of that, which is why a lot of people criticize Joe as an interviewer. Like the guy can't shut up about Epstein and all the stuff surrounding him, but as soon as he has someone on the show that's literally sat down and had one-on-one conversations with the guy, Joe immediately brushes over it and then switches the topic.
I know a lot of people that met that guy. He got a lot of celebrities to come to his house for parties and things.
Well, I think I think a lot of it was this strange commentary on, I don't know, there was some secret club, secret society you could be part of.
Right.
And
of course.
Again, it wasn't explicit, but that was the vague vibe of the whole thing.
People love those stupid things. They love like exclusive clubs that very few people. Look at the fucking Soho House. Like, look at that stupid thing. I mean, you just go to a place that you have to be a member to go to, and everybody wants to be a member. Oh my God,
Yeah.
gotta get it. And then you got like the Malibu
Yeah.
Soho House. It's different from the other ones. You have to have membership only there.
And you see, Peter Thiel is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to JRE guests that have been involved with Epstein. Of course, there are the big ones like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, but it actually goes way deeper than that. Like, believe it or not, Joe's literally platformed Epstein's personal chef, Adam Perry Lang, who worked for Epstein for 4 years straight back in the late 90s, flying with him on his private jet to cook for him at Epstein's various different properties, including the infamous Epstein Island. And this was all public information prior to that podcast, so it was pretty strange that Joe didn't bring that up once. There was even an article written about it. And of course, there could have been some kind of agreement that Joe signed to not mention it with him during the podcast, but nonetheless, it's all very fishy.
What's happening, brother? How are you?
Good to be here.
Good to
What's
have
happening?
you. I have enjoyed your restaurant many times. This is my favorite steak restaurant in all of Los Angeles.
Thank you.
It's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you in here, because this is a really crazy time for restaurants. And I mean, that's basically... That's the gist of it. This is a crazy time.
It's bananas. It's absolutely crazy.
And then there's Dr. Peter Thiel, who was apparently Epstein's private doctor and shared thousands of emails with Jeffrey, which of course are extremely twisted. But I'll touch on that later more in the video. Just know that as of right now, there are about 9 or 10 people who went on Joe's show that are named in the files, which is just a mind-boggling number of people. As weird as that may be though, there's not really one single answer to it that people can agree on. You know, some people theorize that Joe's been bought out and paid for by the upper crust of society, or even the CIA, and others think that it's merely a coincidence. No matter what you choose to believe in though, the one thing that's true here is that Joe gives the softest, most patty cake style of interviews to a select group of people, and a lot of those people were named in the Epstein list. And Donald Trump's a great example of this. Like during that Donald Trump interview, which now has over 61 million views on YouTube alone, Joe Rogan never even brought up Epstein or the suspiciousness surrounding Epstein's death, which is a topic that Joe's talked about on hundreds of other episodes before this one. He basically just gave Trump the easiest interview of his life.
one of the beautiful things about you is that you freeball. Like, you get out and you do these huge events, and you're just talking and you're making. We've highlighted you on the show many times when you did this Biden impression.
Okay, free ball is not. I don't know. Free ball is the wrong word. I'm gonna say that, Joe. Free ball is definitely the wrong word.
He's walking around. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's funny. It's stand up. It's funny stuff. But it's like
Freestyle is the word, not free ball. Freestyle.
and you were making fun of Elon one time. You were doing an Elon impression. It's great. You have like comedic instincts. Like when you said to Hillary, "You'd be in jail." Like it's great timing. And I think
it's funny. You need at least the attitude of a comedian when you're doing this business. This is a very dangerous business. First of all, it's a very tough business.
It's the most dangerous business.
It's the most, well, for a job?
Yes.
So the softball interview basically greenlit all of the cronies to go on Joe's show, as Joe's spine basically disappears whenever someone in the Trump administration appears on the show. Like a couple of short months after that Trump podcast, Joe had Kash Patel on, where he let Kash basically lie to his face and his millions of listeners about everything having to do with the Epstein files and Epstein's suspicious death.
Elon and Trump seem to be in a bit of a spat, Joe. You want to check the tweet that Elon just put out a little bit ago?
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Jesus Christ.
I'm not participating.
And it's so weird that Elon Musk would sit here and say that. Elon Musk, let's bring you to the table, you know? Let's bring you to the table right quick, because I got some words I want to say with you. Because, like, why are you emailing Jeffrey Epstein? Why are you emailing Jeffrey Epstein? Why do you want to be a part of what Jeffrey Epstein got going on? Do you not know that he's a convicted sex offender? He messed with children? What are we talking about here? I don't know, man. This shit is just crazy to me. And like people say, ain't no party like a Diddy party. Well, bitch, I don't want to go to a Diddy party. I know people don't want to hear that shit, but shit, I don't want to do it. You know, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to be eating the party, freaked out, everybody off of some ecstasy or some shit like that. And then they say, look, hey, don't stay here past 12 because it get crazy. But the part that I'm trying to get is like, Elon Musk, you have emails with Jeffrey Epstein asking to go to the party. Like, come on. This is... I don't understand. This is the most confusing part about this whole thing, though, right? It's that, like, each one of them have some type of connection to Jeffrey Epstein, but they outing each other about it. And it's just like, I don't know why y'all outing each other about the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing when all of y'all have connections to him. Like, what's going on here? Like, are we just constantly taking L's here? Why are we calling out each other? But I do love it. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, I do love it. I do love that these people are calling each other out and all this type of stuff. Because, like, the more you point fingers, the more we're going to have to look at the person pointing their fingers and look at the person who they pointing their finger at. And I love that. I really do love that. But then at the same exact time, it's just like, y'all playing a hypocritical game right now. And the hypocritical game that y'all playing, it's like, y'all playing it, but y'all not getting locked up at the same time. And because y'all not getting locked up at the same time, or charges, or being looked into, type stuff like that, it's like y'all playing in our face. Y'all playing in the public face. Y'all saying these conspiracy theories are fake, and when they finally get exposed, we just like, we knew this shit was going on. But then y'all playing in the public face, and nothing is happening. Why is people not getting sent to jail? People need to be sitting in jail. People need to be like, I don't know, like charges need to be brought, like, cause that's what they do to these rappers. That's what they doing to Lil Durk right now. They just having them sit in jail. That's what they do to these rappers all the time. Oh yeah, we just gonna let you sit in jail, you know, until we get everything sorted out. And you might be sitting in jail for 5 years. Put all of them in there at the same exact time. Let them sit for 5 years. But no, they don't do that because they got too much connection to the government. And that's the difference between a rapper and somebody like an Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Woody Allen, Donald Trump. What's that? The girl that he was running against? Whole bunch of people, man. Like, a lot of people. Everybody but fucking Obama. Everybody but Obama. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all like this video right here, make sure you check out my latest video. And I'm out. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you go check out my Twitch. And also watch my recent video, which will be right here. And make sure you hit the subscribe button right here. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.